some paid ads. Just a quick overview before we get into anything. We are going to be talking about Google Ads, and we're going to talk about some social media ads, being Instagram and Facebook. There are a lot of social media platforms you can advertise on. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely follow up with me, and I can get the information that you're looking for. These are just the most popular ad platforms. So again, my name is Brittany. I am on the Digital Service Squad coordinator with Digital Main Street at the City of St. Catharines. A little bit about me, I've been working in digital marketing and I have some experience in paid ads, so I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to kind of give back while I'm on the team here, and share what I know and hopefully make it easier for you guys to make decisions when it comes to paid ads, and really get organized up front so you know what to expect. So today we'll just go through key points. We'll help determine your audience. We'll talk about different ad platforms, setting your budget and how to set your budget properly. We'll learn how to do some keyword research so you can determine that budget before you get onto AdWords or before you get onto social media. We'll talk about Google Ads and we'll talk about social media ads and then some reporting for both. So first we want to define our audience. So before you get into anything, you're going to have to ask about different keywords, different demographics. Is there a certain gender that's more prevalent to who you're targeting? So getting down and building a buyer persona, which is super easily done. If you just Google develop a buyer persona template, they'll come up with different questions you can ask yourself to really understand who you're selling to. That can also be determined if you already are online. You can go to your Google Analytics. You can go to your social media platform, and there will be interesting information there. Even your email campaign will be able to give you some bits of your buyer persona. But you want to ask yourself, where are they on social media? Where are they on the web? Those are the places you're going to want to advertise. Is there a certain gender that's more that converts higher? Certain age group, location, income, interests, et cetera, et cetera. So really diving deep into that's going to be your first opportunity, and that kind of goes across the stage where it's organic, strategy. This is the best place to start. The next button. Okay. So when it comes to social media ad platforms, this is where you're going to ask who your buyer persona is, because what social media platforms are they on? Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, MySpace. Those are some of the top social media ad platforms that you can choose. And I know you look at MySpace, oh, that's kind of old school, but if you're in a music industry, there's lots of value for you to be on MySpace and advertising there. Again, the most popular ones are those top three. TikTok is definitely emerging. So if you're something that you're video based and there's a lifestyle behind it, TikTok's definitely something you want to consider. And then there's Google Ads, and they have a whole different types of campaigns you can run, being search, smart, discovery, display, video, app, and shopping. And we are going to touch in this webinar, search, smart, and display. Those are the main three. Well, the top three and the most popular three, they're not the only three, of course, but you're going to have more, you're going to want to start out on those platforms. So again, these preliminary questions, what is your goal? If you have an ad campaign, you have a new product and you want to bring brand awareness or product awareness, social media is going to be where you want to be. Facebook and Instagram are known for their brand awareness. They have amazing reach. That is where the majority of all our populations are on, whether it's Facebook and Instagram or Instagram and TikTok. You're going to be hitting that a huge different group of individuals by using those two platforms. And then if you are looking for more traffic and you're looking for more conversions, this is where Google Ads comes into play, because Google Ads is where someone is actively searching for your product and you are showing up at that time. So based on that alone, you can probably imagine it's going to be a little more expensive on Google, just because there is that qualified interest in your product, in your service. Next, quality images and videos are important. As we know, many people do not actually read on social media, but if you have a really good image with a really clean call to action, they're going to be more willing, more enticed to read what you have to offer, click through and engage with your brand and follow you. So make sure that you are hiring someone to come take it in, investing in maybe a nice camera, there maybe it's a shadow box if you have a product. There's little things that you could invest in just to up your image game. And especially with different lighting and playing around with it. But if that would be a great place to start as well. And videos being more important based on the algorithms that platforms like TikTok are emerging. Instagram is now video based. You see more videos on Facebook. So they are giving some more weight to videos. So next, we are going to talk about determining your budget. So what are you willing to spend all over on any platform for any of your customers? So social media is a great for brand awareness, and we can expect a minimum of $5 a day to remain effective with your campaign. Or Google Ads, as it is a hyper-targeted platform, showing your ads exactly when the customer is searching, you can expect about a 10 to 15 minimum cost per day. But I would take that one with a grain of salt, only because based on your industry, Google is going to vary those costs per clicks. So estimate your cost per click. When determining your budget, it's not all about what you want to spend, but what you need to spend to get into your industry and penetrate that market. Social media's cost per click is based on the audience that you determine for your ads, not keywords. Your audience is based on the industry, gender, location, interests, and other specific items. So on Facebook, you can do, it's about 97 cents per click, and that is US based. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a Canadian stat. Instagram, you're looking at 50 cents to $1, depending on that industry, depending on who you're wanting to target. And then Google, your average cost per click will be about $2.57. Again, you're hyper targeting by being on Google, being exactly when someone's searching for you. Google knows that. And Google also knows what you make. So based on your industry and based on your cost per acquisition, you're going to see that rise, you're going to see that drop. It really just depends. And then 36 cents on the display network. The display network is amazing, especially the responsive display ads that we'll talk about later on. You can get on different websites and really just kind of penetrate that market on when people are already going onto other places, and then follow them with remarketing. So when you're determining your Google Ads budget, you want to start with some keyword research. So your keyword research can start on moz.com, your Google Analytics, your Google Search Console, WordStream, Google Ad Planner. Those are some really good options for you to just start understanding, okay, what are the industry standards that I can expect? I usually use WordStream for this, and I'll just type in WordStream conflict industry standard, and there's a nice little website. There's a nice little website that summarizes cost per click, your conversion rate, what it should be based on your industry. And then after you run an ad, you can actually cross-reference it with that, or you can look at it as a way to what to anticipate. Google Search Console, if that's not already set up on your back end, definitely add that. It should be easily done through your Google Tag Manager, or just going on and making an account. All right. So then the next one is your landing page. So again, we can do all the keyword research that we want and say, okay, these are the keywords that when someone searches, I want to show up for this. But if those keywords aren't also integrated onto your landing page, there's going to be no quality and there's going to be no relevancy between the two. And Google will, I guess, punish you for this. And your cost per click may go up, and your likelihood to show up on the SERP, which is the search engine results page, will be effective. So make sure that when you have a campaign, you've decided what keywords that you want, make sure you're updating your landing page, make sure that web page is really targeted to what you want to have them say and what you want them to do. Okay, So next, we're going to go into deep dive into Google search, display ads, following into a deep dive on social media paid ads. So every single thing we go over with Google, we'll replicate over on social media. And then we'll go over some other like fun tips and tricks. All right. So the ad structure, just so everyone had, I don't know who has run ads on Google, what your familiarities are on it. And if you want to comment, please feel free to do so. But our Google ads, we're going to start, you're going to make your account. And then the next one, it's going to go to your campaign. And the campaign is where you're going to be setting up all your targeting locations. So this is where like your ad schedule, it can be in there, your start and end date. So if you know that on your campaign's running from today until Valentine's Day, you can have your end date on Valentine's Day, and then it'll stop. And then you don't have to worry about going in and shutting it off at that point. Your ads will automatically be turned off, and then it'll no longer run. This is good for people that are just going in and editing it every single day and monitoring it, but this is going to be good for people just that extra security that Google's not spending your money beyond when you want your money spent. And you can set your cost per click here, you can go Canada-wide, your location-based. So Canada-wide, Niagara-based, any region that you want to go to, this is where you're going to set that up. Okay. And then these are the campaigns that you're going to want to set up based on that. So Google offers you search, display, shopping, video, smart, and discovery. We kind of went over that. And then these are the goals that you can set on Google, the sales, leads, website traffic. And when you hover over these on the homepage of Google, it'll tell you, okay, website traffic's best for these 3 campaign types, or leads is best for these 4 campaign types being the search, display, shopping, etc. So they will help you out with that. Mainly, I will do leads, website traffic, brand awareness. Those are the top 3. But you're going to want to read through them, understand what they are. Again, what is your buyer persona doing? What do you want? How do you want to reach people? What do you want them to say? So next is a smart campaign. So a smart campaign is new to Google, like relatively new to Google. It's going to be an easy solution for small businesses. It's going to help you get discovered with little monetization. Probably within 15 minutes, you can get set up and get going. The smart campaigns bring real results based on your campaign goal, whether that be customer calls, visiting your location, or actions on your website. So then Google will consistently improve your ads based on the goal that you choose, measure its performance, and then show you the results. So as you can tell, there's not a lot of customization when it comes to this type of category. And then search is the complete opposite. So search is going to be a little bit more technical, a little bit more detailed. It'll let you reach people when you're searching on, and this is all keyword based. So this again goes back to the keyword research. You're going to want that bank of information and pulling that into your search campaigns. And then it's a great way also, again, to drive everything to your website. So things that you're going to miss if you start with a smart campaign is your manual bid strategies, setting like discovery method or device, desktop only or mobile only campaigns, manual targeting, manual creating all your ads, and the ability to change your smart campaign into a different type of display campaign. So you actually are able to switch a smart campaign to a search campaign, but once that happens, you cannot switch back. So if you want to get started and you're not really sure how to go about doing AdWords and you're feeling overwhelmed by it, your smart campaign is going to be a good way to start, but you want to be monitoring that really closely. So what happens is you set your ad, they do everything else for you, and then based on what they think is relevant, cross-referencing your landing page, cross-referencing your social media, and your ad text itself, they're going to pull keywords for you. So these might not all be relevant. Sorry, I just got the thing. Where do we find it? Google Ads. If you Google Google Ads, you'll be able to come up. So I think that's, I don't know when it was sent. Just now. So if you just Google Google Ads, and then you'll make an account, and then all of these options will be available for you, Stephanie. So yeah, you're gonna want to start with search, and then you're gonna want to start with smart, sorry, and then you can switch over to search. But once you switch to search, you cannot switch back. That smart campaign is really going to be too broad. You're going to probably spend money that you don't want to be spending on, and that's the value that search brings to the table. All right, and then all other questions, I'm just going to read to the end. Okay, is this related to Google My Business? So Google My Business is different. I'll answer these questions and then I'll answer the rest at the end. So Google My Business is something that you set up, just it's a part of the Google suite, but it has nothing to do with that section, if that answers that question. And Stephanie, you're going to want to do ad campaign, and then that first slide. So I'll go back for you, Steph. Here. So this, when you do ad campaign, this is going to come up. You're going to select whatever your website, your leads, your sales, whatever one you want to choose. And then the options will come after that. So then you can hit smart, you can hit search, you can hit whatever campaign you want. So that's how to go about that. All right, so next we'll go into display campaign advertising. This is going to be really good for you as well. Yes, we'll get a copy at the end of the workshop. So display campaigns have a broad reach, and they'll help you promote your brand, generate product awareness, and increase sales and get more leads. And you can see on the left-hand side that you can see how like the same ad is actually rendering in different ways. So one's maybe more squared, one's more rectangle, one's horizontal across the top of the screen. So display ads actually has that capabilities, and that's called the responsive display ad type. So you're going to add it, cut 2 images, you're going to add your logo, and then you're going to add your text, and then Google's going to automatically place that onto website in responsive ways that make sense that of that website, so you can show your ad there. So responsive display ads is a great way to expand your reach of your search campaign. So getting that in complementary to what you're already doing on search. And then you can also add in remarketing to that as well. Responsive display ads are replacing regular responsive ads. So if you're currently running responsive ads, just know you will get an update on that, so that they can fit any nations of websites. There's just a little bit more inclusive for people. So next is our ad groups and our ads. So our ad groups is where you're going to break down your ad categories. So take, for example, you're a cleaning business and you are doing house cleaning and you're selling products. So you're going to want to have an ad group of your house cleaning services and then your product services. Or maybe you are selling just house cleaning and you want, oh, this is campaign. So maybe you want to just do, okay, targeting like higher end clients and then maybe like a mid-level client. There's many different ways that you can break down your ad groups based on your category. So currently I'm running ads for an auction company. So I've built that out based on the different auction items that are happening. So that is something that you can do that way. You want to break it down, remembering that each ad group, you want to have 10 keywords approximately in those ad groups. So that is definitely key. Write that down. You don't want to have any more because you want them to be super targeted based on what your ad is showing. And then you can just add in more ad groups. So if you're doing a TV and then you're doing a projector, well, you might group them together on your website, but you don't want to actually group them together on your ads. You want to separate out that data. And then Google sees the relevancy of those keywords to the ad text to your website. So there's a little bit more, it's a little tighter in that circle. And then you can have as many ads that you want in an ad group, but the industry standard is going to be 3. So knowing your limits. So Google search ads has a limit based on text. So you can see an example on the right-hand side of your screen. She does not use all of the text available for her, but the SEO agency London, independent SEO consultant, you know what she's asking, you know what she's bringing to the table, 10 years experience, get in touch now. So she has a really clear call to action there's even like an approximate price per month that she's having, that she has out there, and then help you start locally. So again, that local minding, bringing her personality into her ad. Great ad. And then she has what is below called extensions. So extensions are something that you can add at the campaign level. And those are just going to add more links to your ad and give you more real estate on the SERP. Again, SERP being search engine results page. You want to be able to take up as much space as possible so your ad stands out, because all these top 4 ads are ads, and the first one takes up the most space, and you're going to be drawn to that one as well. So you're going to get 3 headlines when it comes to your ad text, and you're going to have 30 characteristics for all 3 of them. You're going to have to fill out all 3 of them. So maybe the first one's your business name, and then the second one's a product that you want to bring them to. Then maybe a third one's a call to action. And then your description becomes in more detail, and you're using 90 characteristics per description. This is for a standard ad. There's also responsive ads. Responsive ads, you can add about 10 headlines. Again, they're all going to have that 30 characteristic limit, and then about 5 descriptions, and they're going to have that 90 character limit. But Google's going to want to Google will optimize what headlines and descriptions they want to pair together. And this is good if you're selling a lot of different products and you want to have like different products in the headlines, and then they have a couple different descriptions that are all relevant to all of those. But you don't want to be hyper targeted in there. Like you don't want to have a headline about house cleaning and then a description of sign up for our e-newsletter for something. Like you just want that messaging. You just want to make sure it's all cohesive there. And then there's remarketing. So remarketing is the last thing, and that's the way that Google tracks users on your page. These are the different ways that you can remarket on Google. So visitors to page should not visit another page. There's a couple different options. I'll let you guys read through that. So my recommendation for this is to set it up right away. You will need backend access to your website. You'll want to link your Google Analytics to this, just so there's more tracking as well. And then Google will give you a code once you set it up under remarketing. And you place that code into the header tag on your website. But don't worry, they walk you through step by step. They're really good that way. So next you're going to want to report and analyze. So for Google, it's going to be your Google Analytics. Make sure you're linking that account, and then Google Ad Analytics. So Google AdWords itself will give you the analytics portion of that home screen, and it will tell you how many clicks, impressions, where you're showing, what keywords, your search terms. It's going to show you so much information. And that's where being finite with your keywords and being finite with your ad text and what's on your landing page, you're going to have a lot less data to go through. But that doesn't mean that you don't want to go through it. You want to be able to learn from it. So you're going to want to put a keyword in that I think this is a good keyword, and then maybe it's not, and your analytics will be able to tell you that, and then give you suggestions on what to integrate into it. So something that is also relatively new is they have a optimization score that Google gives you. And based on that score, they'll provide recommendations like, is there redundant keywords? Is there new ad text that should be added to your display? Is something not completely optimized? And they'll point it out, and you can just with one click apply that change or not. You do want to be reading them, because not all the recommendations they give are things that you want to do. So next we'll jump into social media paid ads. Right. So I'll just scroll through the questions and then see if there's anything. All right, Sarah, thank you for coming. Thank you for answering. Kim, for me as well. Terry asked, is a web page necessary when setting up your business? My response to that is no, it is not necessary when you're starting up a business. What I would recommend for you is to build out a presence on social media, focus on maybe a hashtag strategy. You're going to want to focus on interacting with other people in your space locally. So maybe sharing it onto your personal account saying, hey guys, follow me on social media. You're going to want to build up on social media first. Maybe you're running a couple like boosted ads on Facebook, and we'll talk about boosted ads in a couple seconds. And that's going to help you build awareness and bring more people to liking your Facebook page, liking your Instagram page. But I would definitely start with social media if that's the direction you want to go into, and then integrate a web page. And a lot of that has to do with budget. If you have the budget to do a web page right off the bat, then go for it. But no, it's not typically necessary. That can be a part of your yearly plan where, okay, I'm going to start on social media, build up a little bit of an audience, and then provide them with my product being a web page, because you can still get all your contacts. You can still create conversations through social media. Social media ads. First, we're going to talk about boosted posts and paid ads. So there is a difference, and I don't know if everyone knows what the difference is. So a boosted post is a post on your page's timeline that you can apply money in order to boost it to an audience if you're choosing. It's the simplest way to advertise on Facebook. Boosted posts may initially optimize for page likes, comments, and shares, or overall brand awareness. My personal rule of thumb is you want to consider posting a boosted post when an organic post with value has done well, and you want to reach further eyes on that post. Or if you have a new campaign, or you've released a new event or a fundraiser and you want to promote that, that would be a good option as well. So when it comes to paid ads, Facebook ads are created through the ads manager and offer more advanced customization solutions. I guess you can kind of refer it to the smart campaign to the search campaign of Google, but boosted to paid ads. So there are many advertising objectives with paid ads that help you reach your specific business goals and the audience you care about most. So you can optimize for apps, installs, website conversions, video views, shop orders, and more. Again, the biggest difference between the two is because boosted posts are not created in the Facebook ad portal. They're created outside on your own profile. And there's a variance in the customization figures. Okay, so then we go into the campaign and how it's structured for social paid ads. So instead of like in Google, where the campaign, you're setting all those targeting measures, your location, etc., that is not what you're going to do here on social media. You're going to set your objective and your goal at the campaign level. And these are the campaign goals that Facebook offers you. So you can start with automated ads. That's going to run it for you. Again, if you're not familiar with the platform, this might be a good place to start. Just be worrisome about tracking what ad you're running because it might get out of hand. And that's where you control it through cost per click and your daily budget. And as you learn the platform, you can get into some of the other things. You can get more website visitors. You can boost a post through it. Boost a Instagram post, get more messages, promote your brand, get more calls, promote businesses locally, and get more leads. So these are some of the goals that you can choose through social media. And then the ad groups is where you're going to be setting your campaign targeting. So that's where your audience schedule, your budget, that's where this is going to come into play. You're going to really refine what you want to do. Who do you want to reach? And when do you want to reach them? And then finally, where your ads, target your ads based on the landing page that you want and the action you want the user to take exactly. So there's going to be a couple different ads Google, social media offers you, Facebook, and that's the image, carousel, video, and collection ads. And the collection ads are shopping ads. And I've gone into a little bit of explanation on this page about them. So you can see what you need with the minimum file sizes and the maximum height sizes, the length of the videos that you want. They're recommending video captions for any video ads. And then these are all the different type of ad guides that you need that you can use. So depending on what you're selling, you might want one or the other. So again, knowing your limit. So Google is very strict with what they have, the 30-90 rule, where Facebook ads isn't as strict with what you're writing in your ad. There is an example on the right-hand side. As you can tell, it's super clean. There's a couple words at the top. Sales and marketing success is like their main call to action. They have a really pulling image, and then just your general grow sales, save time, stay on top of it all. So now you're providing, okay, like what's in it for me? And everything's right there on that ad. So as much as they don't have specific limits on what you can write, they do suggest these things. So images to have less than 20% text on it. This used to be a hard rule that Google went by. And based on the reports I was reading, developing this webinar, I believe that rule is now gone. But that is something that you should follow anyways, because I completely agree. To have this huge image with all this text, it's going to be overwhelming. This goes back to, you want to have quality images with a simple call to action. So maybe it's a really beautiful image of your product, and then right on the bottom, register, buy now. And then that's your ad, and it's out there and it's simple and everyone understands, okay, this is like vinyl creations and this is what they want me to do. And then your primary text being 125 characters, your headline being 40 characters, and a description being 30 characters. Again, those are recommendations from Facebook. And then the pixel. So before we talked about the remarketing with Google, and now we're going to be talking about the pixel. So the pixel is something you want to set up when you're doing your first ad campaign. It'll fire when someone takes an action on your website, and then that builds up an audience that you can retarget to in the future. It is a little tricky to set up, but there is a link that Google has that walks you through this. And it's super valuable because then it becomes qualified people that you can reach in the future. So definitely taking the time to set this up for your first campaign, and then integrating that pixel into other campaigns in the future, or new pixels in the future, depending on what you're asking them to do. You'll collect different data. So maybe you have a pixel for men's products, and maybe you have a pixel for female products that are located on different places on your website. All right, so reporting and analyzing the data. So again, Google Analytics is going to be great for this. It's going to tell you how many people came in through social media, what social media platforms they came in through, and then where they went onto your website. And that is kind of knowing how to use Google Analytics. That data is stored there. So making sure that you're linking your Google Analytics to your social pages, your website, all this information, and having it running is super important. And then your Facebook Analytics, after your campaign, they'll give you a report on how it did. And then that will save on your ads manager. Or even a boosted post will end up saving the data on your ads manager so that you can go back and look over it. So some final and other takeaways. And now if you guys have any questions, feel free to start posting any questions. I can go back and answer anything, but I'll just recap on this part. So when you're creating the ad text itself, you want to ask yourself, do you yourself want to buy from your ad? This may seem straightforward, but it is a question that sometimes you forget to ask yourself when you're writing an ad, because you're like, this sounds salesy, or you're not comfortable in doing that sales talk. You want to have it speak to your personality. You want to have your ad text kind of understand, you want your personality to show. So you want people to understand who you are based on any ads that you're putting out there. And that's what's going to make a click-worthy ad. And then testing your ads. So make sure that once you have an ad out there and it's running and you're happy with it, don't be scared to add new keywords. Change up your ad copy, A/B testing your ads, your demographics. Maybe you're choosing new demographics. Maybe you're on your display campaign, you're switching up an image and seeing if that one goes over better. Maybe you're adding new interests into a display campaign, or maybe you're building out a gender-based ad or different things this way that are going to be more targeted to who your actual buyer is going to be. And this will come with practice as you start using the campaigns even more. So thank you. And I see that I have a couple questions. So if anyone wants to get a hold of me, my work cell phone is posted there, but I'm probably best reached via email. So feel free to send me a message and I will get back to you. We can set up a meeting if you want to go over, and I can go over your ad account and provide some suggestions if that's what you're interested in. And then go into any other details. Like I see a question here for YouTube ads. If you want to set up a meeting, we can definitely go over that, and I will do my best to get you the information to optimize on there. So if anyone has